For 2 long years, I pursued her relentlessly, undeterred by the presence of other suitors vying for her affection. My heart overflowed with a profound and all-consuming love for her. I courted her with unwavering dedication, showering her with bouquets of fragrant flowers and decadent chocolates delivered to both her workplace and residence. I lavished her with my undivided attention, pouring every ounce of my being into winning her over. Finally, after 2 years of tireless efforts, my perseverance paid off as she began to reciprocate my feelings. As is often the case in passionate affairs, events unfolded swiftly. A whirlwind 6-month romance culminated in our wedding. My joy was immeasurable. She was a vision of beauty, blessed with long, graceful legs and a figure that turned heads wherever she went. Rarely could a man pass by without stealing a second glance. We shared our lives together for 2 blissful years. While I cannot claim she was a subpar homemaker, our house was consistently tidy. Meals were often sparse. It wasn't a reflection of her culinary skills, but rather a consequence of her demanding work schedule that left little time for meal preparation. On occasion, I would step in and take charge of the cooking. She gave me no reason to doubt her fidelity. Our life together was generally harmonious, with only minor disagreements that were swiftly resolved. Then one day, the topic of starting a family arose in our conversations. We were both in agreement that the time was right. 3 months later, my wife discovered she was expecting. I was overjoyed, feeling like a child myself. At 15 weeks, the doctor revealed we would be welcoming a baby boy. Our son entered the world strong and healthy. My happiness knew no bounds. I eagerly rushed out to purchase baby essentials: clothes, diapers, undershirts, and an array of adorable outfits. In my excitement, I even bought toys, some of which were more suitable for a 4-5-year-old. But I didn't mind. I was too elated to care. Our little boy grew into a rosy-cheeked, lively child who ate heartily, slept soundly, and much to our relief, cried infrequently. The first time he crawled, I was moved to tears by the tenderness of the moment, and when he began to babble in his own charming way, I joyfully presented my wife with a trio of gold, earrings, a chain, and a ring adorned with a precious stone. Milestones continued to unfold: his first steps, his first mischievous antics. As our son turned 3, my wife expressed her desire to return to work after staying home with him. We enrolled our son in a reputable private kindergarten, marking the beginning of our dual-income household. Just a year into her return to work, my wife discovered she was pregnant once more. With our financial stability, we agreed that a second child would be a welcome addition to our family. At 14 weeks, the doctor shared the joyous news that we would be having a baby girl. Once again, my elation knew no limits. A son and a daughter. What greater blessing could there be? To celebrate, I surprised my wife with a car, a significant purchase that stretched our budget, but one I believed we could manage with some careful financial planning. Our daughter had just taken her first steps when tragedy struck. My wife had asked to spend a couple of days at her friend's dacha, a request I had granted before when our firstborn was younger. I understood a woman's need for occasional respite from the demands of household duties and parenting. She was returning home in her car when she lost control. In that fateful moment, she lost her life, and my grief was unfathomable. A mere month after the devastating loss, a distinguished gray-haired man named Oleg, aged 50, stormed into my home, adamantly declaring that he would not relinquish his children to me. Yes, you read that correctly. His children. It came to light that this man had been my wife's lover, a highly influential figure in our community. Their affair had commenced a year and a half prior to our wedding, and had continued throughout the entirety of our marriage. My exchange with him was brief. I simply demanded that he leave my property. Subsequently, I received a court summons, the outcome of which mandated a DNA test without my consent. The results were unequivocal. The children I had raised and loved as my own were not biologically mine. I sought a second opinion to confirm the findings. I can only surmise that my wife's paramour, a man of considerable influence in our region, had exerted his power to sway the legal proceedings. I am now facing another court battle, but I am resolute in my determination to fight for the children until the very end. They are the only remnants of the happy life I once shared with my wife before her untimely passing. The revelation of her deceit and betrayal is a bitter pill to swallow, but my love for her was genuine, profound, and all-consuming.